This is Campus News, reporting the top stories from colleges and universities.
Next on Campus News,
don't just pull it out from under them.
We'll dive into what lifeguard school is all about.
College men lend a hand by using their feet.
Kids try their hand and hair at solving crime.
But first, our team went on a ride-along to show you MSUM's finest. Good morning and welcome to Campus News. I'm Tyrell Philly.
And I'm Betsy Harmson.
MSUM public safety officers work around the clock to keep campus safe.
Reporter Emma Vottenstall jumps into the world of campus security to give us a closer look at just how much it takes to keep students and faculty safe.
Every night, after faculty have gone home and students are back with their friends, MSUM Public Safety is just getting their day started. Not only do MSUM Public Safety officers aid in emergency situations, but they also help in everyday tasks. These everyday tasks can range from vehicle patrol to jump starts to building walkthroughs, and are all done in order to keep MSUM safe. They aren't just there to get students in trouble.
To be blunt about it, not everybody likes us, and I understand that.
Cameras around campus, as well as emergency lights and phone lines, help officers keep an eye on everything, even when they can't be there in person. While doing vehicle patrol, officers are constantly checking in with dispatch in order to keep tabs on one another.
10-4-1835.
With the recent shooting death of Fargo officer Jason Mosier, MSUM public safety officers have started to become even more aware about what can happen on and off campus.
I think, he didn't leave his house to go do it, but it was an active shooter type situation. So I think it became more of a reality that it could happen here.
Even without firearms, public safety officials say they feel safe when working at MSUM.
I've never felt like my life was in danger or anything.
No matter the issue, MSUM public safety is there day and night to keep an eye out for the campus. With photographer Jared Schumacher, Emma Vottenstall, Campus News.
MSUM currently employs 6 full-time officers, 13 student officers, and offers their services 24/7.
The state of North Dakota continues to help the family of fallen Fargo police officer Jason Mosier. System Chancellor Mark Hagerott reached out to Mosier's widow to say her 2 children will receive free education at any public college or university in the state of North Dakota. Under state law, tuition and fees at any state college in North Dakota are waived for survivors of peace officers killed in the line of duty. Hagerott says the policy applies to any of the 11 institutions in the North Dakota university system.
North Dakota State University will be flying a 20-foot-long unmanned aircraft for agricultural research. Lieutenant Governor Drew Wrigley says they are confident this partnership will strengthen precision agriculture and expand economic opportunities. Using the Hermes 450, we'll be focusing on comparing images of crops in many stages of growth. Research with unmanned aircraft has been growing for 2 years by the NDSU Extension Service. In other campus news, the results of a Minnesota University survey indicate students are less likely to use a condom.
The survey also showed sexually transmitted infections are still an issue statewide and here at MSUM. Reporter Levi Lass has the full story.
I think there could be more done about it with more posters and easier access to condoms.
Like many college students across Minnesota, MSUM students are facing new problems with a decline in condom usage, as sexually transmitted infections continue to be a pervasive problem, according to a 2015 health survey report. The study covered the issues of sexually transmitted infections across Minnesota campuses and the decline in the usage of condoms among young adults.
I think it sounds so low, and I think it's something that our campus can improve on as being one of the wellness educators. It's something I would want to improve on too.
Condom usage is down 9%, which is concerning to Carol Grimm, director of MSUM's Hendricks Health Center.
I think that students are really careful about, using pregnancy prevention, and they might be on some other type of birth control, but not necessarily using the condoms.
According to the report, only 54% of students used a condom the last time they engaged in traditional intercourse. Though many other forms of birth control are being used, these alternatives were not effective for preventing the contraction of sexually transmitted infections.
Most birth controls do not protect against disease. The only thing that does is condoms. So I actually do tell students, use a condom as well.
The report states that these findings have important implications, claiming healthy students make better students and better students make healthier communities. Levi Lass, Campus News.
The 2015 Student Health Survey report included student surveys from 18 Minnesota campuses.
College students may have noticed a new Spotify playlist featured recently. An online music streaming company has created a birthing playlist for women in labor. The songs are placed in scientifically designed order to help relieve anxiety for women in labor. Spotify, along with a gynecologist and an assistant professor of gynecology, helped create the playlist. Some of the songs are Let It Go by James Bay, Ho Hey by the Lumineers, and Don't Panic by Coldplay. The company believes a good playlist will help distract moms from the loud hospital sounds.
Speaking of pregnant bellies, Wayne State University is hashing out a whopping $850,000 payout. Former social work student Tina Varlisi's supervisor at her ex-rehab center internship ordered her to wear looser clothing and stop rubbing her pregnant belly because it might excite the male rehab patients she was working with. NDSU played host to students from schools across the Fargo area.
The goal? Getting more young women interested in STEM studies. Reporter Tyler Jensen takes us to NDSU to find out how they're doing it.
As part of National Introduce a Girl to Engineering Day, over 300 middle school girls gathered in NDSU's Great Plains Ballroom in its Memorial Union. The girls began their day with NDSU Dean of Engineering, Gary Smith, telling them about engineering and what those in the profession do.
Basically, we need engineers to design safe buildings, such as this one.
He said he hoped to see some of them eventually come to the college as students. Then came just one of the hands-on portions of the day. Led by a representative from Bobcat, the students began an icebreaker challenge with the others at their table.
Maybe knocking it over wasn't a good idea.
They had to create pyramids and stacks out of cups, using only some string, a rubber band, and teamwork. In the end, one of the first teams done, from Liberty Middle School, talked about the event and how they enjoyed it.
It's fun. Yeah, it's really fun. I like being here. And you get active, like, with the activities.
Then the students asked a panel of female engineering students questions about engineering and college life.
So you don't have to be good at math or science to be an engineer.
For the rest of their time at NDSU, the students would be busy working on engineering projects. This is the second year NDSU has done the event, and coordinator Holly Erickson says she hopes its influence only grows from here.
We would just hope that all girls in North Dakota have this available to them so they can be exposed to what engineering is.
For now, though, she says she's happy with how many young women came to crowd the ballroom, with photographers Skylar Zach and Veronica Utek. Tyler Jensen, Campus News.
In addition to NDSU, companies like John Deere, Microsoft hosted groups of students with tours and more activities.
One of the nation's most prestigious university votes in favor of a historic pass-fail curricula change. Faculty members of Harvard University's Arts and Sciences School voted to allow students to take half of their general education requirements and 4 required courses pass-fail. Advantages of a pass-fail grading system include taking pressure off students, making classwork easier, as well as better engagement. Opponents say it could eliminate competition incentives and accurate representation of performance. Harvard is one of 4 Ivy League schools to adopt a pass-fail grading system.
Students at the University of Akron will soon collect a refund after the school improperly increased facility fees over the summer. Each student will receive around $10 per credit hour by the end of the spring's term. The total amount of refunds issued will top over $4 million, with a maximum of $239 per student. The increased fee was part of a $60 million fiscal challenge. The university attempted to charge students an additional $50 per credit for taking higher-level courses. The fee disbanded after governmental and student backlash.
The Fargo Library is being turned into a crime scene investigation. A professor from Concordia College in Moorhead presents a CSI chemistry program for teens. The crime scene started with small groups deciding who is going to make the sacrifice to use their hair for the investigation. Using the microscope to get a closer look, the teens got to receive hands-on experience. The goal of the event is to help teens build confidence in exploring science and take away the science anxiety young teens may have.
There's some space over here. There's this whole kind of, I can't do science, I'm not good enough, or I'm not smart enough, or science is really scary or complicated. So we're going to take some of that away, and we're going to say, you guys can do science.
Dr. Wiley tries to hold at least one event a month to get students interested in science. A California university's hard work in researching and developing a drug for prostate cancer paid off big. A New York biotech firm called Royalty Pharma bought the drug for over $1 billion. UCLA's profit was over $500 million. A UCLA faculty member developed the drug called Xtandi. The drug generated $1.9 billion last year alone. While the drug would likely have continued to bring in money, the competitive nature of these drugs made the future profits for Xtandi uncertain. The school decided this payout was a better option than gambling on the profits. The money will be used to fund research, scholarships for undergrads, and stipends for graduate students until 2027.
At MSUM's Nemzik Pool, students take a dip into lifeguarding 101.
Here people learn all about saving lives and their budget. Reporter Derek Barkowitz dives into what the training is all about.
With a jump and a splash, the lifeguard training class is in session. Instructor,
In that case,
Megan Viken,
you jump in.
says there's a perfect rational reason how the Dragon Swim School got started.
There you go.
With the help of Todd Peters,
Now do your tube stuff.
the head coach of the swim team.
Good. Dragon Swim School started because when Todd got here, there was not a whole lot of funding for the swim team. And he wanted to find a way to make a little bit of money for the team. And so he decided that he was going to start a swim school. Don't just pull it out from under them.
Viken says she has been teaching the swim school
Make sure you get it out very nice and easy.
for roughly 4.5 years.
All right.
She also says the biggest impact her students can take away is teaching water safety to others.
The types of situations that lifeguard they have to handle. And so it kind of opens your eyes to what, it's more than just watching the pool or scanning and looking for people. It's a little more complicated than that.
Amber Helgo is Viken's co-teacher.
Good job.
She says her experience in lifeguarding pushed her to want to help out with the class.
Above the tube, above the tube.
My favorite part is actually getting in the water and drowning for my students. Fake drowning, we'll say.
Make sure you're counting.
Amber says she wants her students to take lifeguarding seriously and be great lifeguards. With photographer Samantha Stark, Derek Barkowitz, Campus News.
To become a lifeguard, you need 26 hours of training. While taking the class, the instructors will teach you CPR and how to administer first aid.
There's a new dance pop group on campus that may be hard to understand while listening, but entertaining to watch. Students at MSU Moorhead have taken in a new kind of music genre called K-pop, which originated in Korea and consists of music and dance. When asked why this started a K-pop group at MSUM, the answer was simple.
I guess our goal would just be to have fun, a lot of fun, and enjoy it, and share it.
The group will be doing performances this spring, and you can check out the MSUM event page for more information. Each year, MSUM celebrates Black History Month. Students are highlighting a huge piece of American history, jazz.
This music is helping the campus connect with the contributions of standout jazz musicians. Reporter Timur Sati has our story.
MSUM Black Student Union is celebrating the history of jazz by doing this. President of Black Student Union, Lexi Byler says she is excited for the first jazz event.
That jazz is deeply rooted in Black history. We wanted to basically highlight that. It's something that we've never really done before as an organization. We tend to focus a lot on the issues, and we wanted to do something more celebratory. So to be able to partner with MSUM's Jazz Ensemble and do something like this that's a little bit more different than what we've done in the past is something that we're excited about.
February is Black History Month and brings people from all over the world. One MSUM student likes to play guitar and is happy to be a part of jazz group.
Really cool to be part of a bigger thing, and we picked some fun tunes, and I think everyone performed quite well.
There's the old saying that music, all music, is the universal language, and I think jazz music is a great example of how cultures can get together.
The Black Student Organization has been trying to engage students from all over the campus to promote Black history. With photographer Michael Schumer, Timur Sati, Campus News.
The Black Student Union at MSUM is having Black Lives Matter banquet at the end of the year.
Project 88 is a public art program where pianos are transformed into art. Artists paint and display the pianos in public places. The UND Student Project 88 group helps organize the events. The The artists will paint a birch tree forest with flowers and a wheat field with a blue sky. Project 88 is funded through a grant by the Community Foundation of Grand Forks and East Grand Forks. Artists are giving $300 to cover expenses.
MSUM has given students a unique opportunity to stand up for violence against women.
14 laps in a pair of heels isn't the easiest mile to walk. Haley Gerlach has more on how the student body comes together to spread awareness.
They say you don't know someone until you've walked a mile in their shoes. At MSUM, students are walking a mile in her shoes to spread awareness about violence against women.
Just kind of everybody to get together and notice that there is something going on and that they need, just to make people aware of it.
3, 2, 1, go! It's a silly idea, men walking in heels. But these men are here to show that being a woman isn't always easy. For one student, this issue hits close to home.
I've got an older sister who was in college. I've got a younger sister. She's a sophomore in high school. And it's kind of a scary thing that they're unfortunately going to have to be faced with this. So I think the more awareness that we can raise, the better off future generations will be.
Women were also invited to be involved. Bailey Schumann says that the hardest part is being told that women are the only ones who need to change their actions.
I've always had that kind of stuck in my head that women need to make the changes, but I'm going to take away that it's more the men, and men have the power to change that, and we can be along their sides as well.
For many students, they are realizing that walking in heels is not an easy task.
Oh, it's pretty uncomfortable, to be honest.
Although this lesson isn't an easy one to learn, students are coming closer to making campus a safer place for women. With photographer Annie Pearson, Haley Gerlach, Campus News.
Walk a Mile in Her Shoes takes place in cities across the country. For MSUM, this is their 6th time hosting the event.
A summer class for kids at MSUM turned into a business venture. Reporter Nathan Lopka will show us how kids are making their own video games.
We are building our first level.
Here at the Moorhead Center Mall, a family-run business known as Pods is teaching young kids about the artistry of video game design.
All the way around on the left.
It is a class that has become popular over the past few years and has many kids of all ages wanting to learn how to make their own video games. Among these students is 12-year-old Peyton McDonald, who is already a decent game developer.
Yeah, it's probably one of my most favorite things to do.
His love for video games was what drives him to want to create a game for many people to enjoy. Even though it is a lot of information and each session is quite long, these young kids come eager to learn and ready to design games and to take that next step forward into becoming future video game creators. Pod's creator, Dave Binkard, was inspired to start the business after teaching a similar class at MSU Moorhead's College for Kids.
I like seeing that not only the spark of creativity, but that it's actually doing something. And they know it's doing something, it's doing what they want. What could be better than that?
With each session, these kids gain experience points, and maybe someday their games will be played on the next major console. With photographer Eli Plunkett, Nathan Lofka, Campus News.
We've learned so far. What do we need to do?
For 3 years, Binkard and his wife have run the class and will be continuing classes through the summer.
And now we turn it over for a look at sports with Haley Foster. Haley, it looks like some Husky fans are in for a rude awakening.
And student athletes are too, unfortunately. Student athletes are stunned after St. Cloud State University announced it's cutting 6 athletic programs next year. St. Cloud State President Earl H. Potter III says the cuts are part of the university's work to recover financially from its $6 million budget gap. The 6 programs that are being cut are men's and women's tennis, men's indoor and outdoor track and field, men's cross country, and women's Nordic skiing. Altogether, the cuts will affect 80 student athletes. The university says the cuts will save $250,000. A University of Minnesota basketball player is suspended for allegedly posting a sex tape on social media. Now his family says they have evidence proving he couldn't have done it. Kevin Dorsey's family says his phone was stolen at the Mall of America a day before the video was posted on Twitter. Coach Richard Pitino suspended Dorsey and teammates Nate Mason and Dupree McBrayer for the rest of the season for violating team rules. The MSUM softball team is sliding into a new season. Experienced players as well as a lot of young talent seem to be shaping the team this year. Reporter Tanner Robinson previews the upcoming softball season for the Dragons.
The pinging of aluminum bats.
and pops of softballs and gloves filled the air at Nemzek Fieldhouse, the practice site for the MSUM Dragons softball team. The Dragons are looking to improve on a season where they experienced injuries and a lackluster record. Head coach Kelsey Fale says the return of some key players may provide a spark to this team.
We have a lot of juniors and seniors back who have a lot of experience from the last 3 or 4 years, so they should be able to help us too.
Fale also says the experience current juniors and seniors have will provide a strong sense of leadership to the freshmen and sophomores on this team. One of those seniors, left fielder Christy Bruni, believes that the aggressiveness of this team will be one of the central components in shaping their success.
We just need to stay focused and stick together as a team, and I think we'll do great things this year.
Seniors like Bruni will help incoming freshmen and sophomores, including freshman shortstop Taylor Roddy, adjust to their new roles on the team.
I feel like I'm a really good leader, and I feel like I can really step up this year and like with my hitting and fielding.
The Dragons started the year with a loss against Minnesota Duluth, but they bounced back with a win against Bemidji State, as well as 2 wins in exhibition contests against Central Lakes College. Coach Fale says these wins are a confidence builder, and she explains that she and the rest of the team will continue to build on the wins as the season continues. With photographer Kaylee Omang, Tanner Robinson, Campus News Sports.
The Dragons will begin NSIC conference play later this month. With its 5th FCS National Championship in the books, North Dakota State University is canceling a stop on its trophy tour. The 5 trophies are scheduled to go on display at Shields stores around the area. The university even expanded its tour to Rochester, Minnesota and Sioux Falls, South Dakota this year. However, the Sioux Falls Argus-Leader newspaper says the Shields in Sioux Falls received a large number of angry complaints from South Dakota State fans. NDSU officials say the school is deciding to cancel the Sioux Falls stop because of a scheduling conflict, adding they didn't want to steal the show from the Summit tournament going on that same weekend. High school soccer players are putting their skills to the test as they keep busy in the off-season. Reporter Trent Spihorsky shows us why local soccer players are lacing up their cleats indoors.
Local soccer players kick off their off-season by playing a sport they love the most, soccer. The MSUM women's soccer team organized a 3-on-3 tournament for local high school girls. Players gathered in Nemzek to practice for their next season while competing and showing off their ball handling skills.
And have an opportunity for kids to play throughout the spring because they're not in their high school seasons either, so it just creates a really good opportunity for everybody.
The youngsters from each school created a team of up to 7 players and worked on improving their teamwork.
And I think that it really helped us get connections and communicate with each other and do our format that we're supposed to.
This is the first year the MSUM soccer team hosted the event. Even though some of the participants haven't watched the women's soccer team play on the field, the team hopes the event will have gained some young supporters.
Especially if they come and watch us play this spring, I think they'll look up to us even more.
Players from each team took advantage of the tournament and used it as an opportunity to get better and have some fun.
It's really good for young players especially to start being with their team and growing as like a united group.
As goals were scored and the day went on, players checked the bracket to see where their team ranked. Overall, the day was a score for these young high school soccer players. With photographer Veronica Utek, Trent Spihorsky, Campus News.
The MSUM women's soccer team hopes to keep the event running in the years to come. Wow, you guys, that really made me want to brush off my cleats and go and kick a ball around. How about you?
Well, you know, there's a field out back. Maybe we could go get a pickup game started.
do
You're invited,
it.
Betsy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Haley.
NDSU students are digging out quarters for something other than laundry.
I talked to some of them to see how loose change is helping a family in need.
Hi. Caitlin Quinn's life is all about odds. Since birth, doctors have said her chance of lasting long isn't good. She was born with a 1 in a billion genetic disorder causing uncontrollable seizures. But Caitlin has a knack for beating the odds. She was expected to live months, but months went by and turned into a year, then 2.
Good looking.
Never expected to see her second birthday.
You feel that scratchy tongue?
Caitlin just celebrated her 3rd.
You like that one? Caitlin's 3. She's in preschool now. She goes to school from 8 in the morning to 11. She very much enjoys books and music. Can you see the kitty?
But beating the odds is not free. Caitlin's daily life requires special equipment and medicine.
Stay sitting up.
That's where the 1 in a million generosity of the Quinns' alma mater comes into play.
Thank you. Thank you.
The NDSU College of Engineering and College of Health Professionals went head-to-head for the 6th annual Battle of the Senses. A friendly competition to raise the most money for families in need.
And at the end of the week, whoever has more points wins the competition, wins bragging rights.
The battle is a point system that rewards coins and penalizes paper money. Who will win? Depends on who you ask.
College of Health Professions.
Engineering. We did last year. We plan to again.
Quinn says she appreciates the school's kindness.
Because the tassel came up?
The Quinns say the donations are about more than dollars and cents. It's about the support of people they may never even meet.
It was overwhelming. It always is when there are people you don't know who extend care and concern for you.
With the encouraging generosity of NDSU, Caitlin and her family will continue trying to defy the odds. The Battle of the Senses raised more than $4,500 for the Quinns as well as another local family. And that's it for this edition of Campus News.
We leave you with another look at jazz evolution.
Thanks for joining us and have a great week.
Campus News is produced by the Television News Workshop in the School of Communication and Journalism at Minnesota State University Moorhead in cooperation with Prairie Public Television.